asked for me. Here I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Since when were they red?
Hey, how's it going, y'all? What's up? My name's Lee, and I'm here to review Captain America 4 Brave New World, whose title was changed after New World Order was too offensive. And we're going to get into that stuff. So let's talk about this movie. Let's start with the good. The good is that Anthony Mackie is a good Captain America. I think he's really good in this, very charming, very charismatic as a lead. He carries over that energy. He was good in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He was good in every single MCU movie he's been in, and he continues that streak here, except this time he is the lead, and yeah, he's very much up to the task, and I hope he has a great long future, not only as Captain America, but also in other films. Now let's get into the bad. Everything else about this movie. Listen, this movie, obviously very tormented in post-production. For example, you can tell right off the jump Giancarlo Esposito was very clearly stitched into this movie in post, and it's very obvious too. Like, they don't even do a very good job of hiding that fact. It's very obvious he's never like sharing a scene with anyone, and the scenes he does share with people, it's like an obvious back and forth cutaway, and he's like in front of a big goofy looking green screen. It's horrible, but he's not the worst part of the movie. I think his performance is actually good. So it was actually smart to put him in this movie because he's one of the few other good things about it. Harrison Ford, really bad in this. Very much phoning it in. He got that paycheck, and I just got to say, at this point, Disney, please, please let this man retire. You have brought him back for Rise of Skywalker, Indiana Jones, and now this. The man is tired. He's got enough money. Let him retire in peace. I swear. Like, this is rock bottom for him and the MCU. Please do him a favor and stop giving him money so he can stop being in these terrible movies. Anyway, speaking of being tormented in production, this movie looks terrible. It barely looks like a movie. It very much looks like a cheap made-for-TV movie, which is sad. The lighting is flat and ugly, and I have a feeling that's because they kept shooting things very quickly and picking up shots and all this stuff to the point where like they just didn't have time to light it, and they just had to light it in post. And yeah, that makes it for a very flat and ugly looking movie, flatter and uglier than most MCU movies. Everything about this movie is a huge mess. For example, the villain in this movie, don't want to give away who it is, but he's got a certain skin tone going on, okay? And at times he's splotchy, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting take on this character. And at times he's full on green. Sometimes he's light green, sometimes he's dark green. And it showed to me. And also his makeup was atrocious. Looked terrible. Cheap, like $40 like Party City makeup effects. Very much terrible. Matter of fact, you know, whenever I start streaming or recording, I put a lot of thought into how I'm going to light things. You know, usually I light a little bit darker. I'm going to get myself a backlight. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so for example, I got green light right over here. That way it gives it like a nice hue of green because there's Hulk characters in this film. Spoiler alert, I guess. I got 2 lamps over here that are red, and then the lights above me are blue because Captain America, red, white, and blue. And I feel like I put more thought into how I lit my room for this review than anybody put any thought into how they were going to light a single scene in this film. It is atrocious. This movie costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is what you're putting out here for people to watch and go see in theaters. This is a new low for the MCU, in my opinion. Let's get into the movie's biggest issue. So it's being billed as a political thriller. Problem with that is, ain't no politics, and there ain't no thrills. As a matter of fact, there's no mystery at all in this. You know what's going to happen at every step of the way. And what's more infuriating about that is that you know what's going to happen every single step of the way, but then characters keep revealing things as if you don't know what's going on, but doing that once is fine because the character's got to catch up with the audience, I guess. But like they do it repeatedly as if we are stupid. And that just shows, I think, this movie was focus group tested to death. It shows. I think it just hurt the film. I don't know why in the world they focus group tested this movie so much. I don't even understand why they changed the title. They were calling it New World Order, obviously, because there's a literal New World Order in the MCU in the sense that Thunderbolt Ross is the president now. Why in the world would you change the title because you're afraid of offending people? Which gets me to my next thing. It is offensive how inoffensive this film is trying to be. This builds on top of the political thing. There's zero politics in this movie. There's not even any MCU in-world politics in this, the way that like Civil War had, for example. Like, I'm even asking for like baseline Winter Soldier politics where it's like, yeah, Nazis are bad. There ain't nothing like that in this movie. It is hilarious to build this as another Captain America political thriller and not put any politics in the movie. Especially when you have characters like Isaiah Bradley who, you know, considering his circumstances and what the US government has done to that particular character, is ripe for the picking as far as like any sort of political commentary you can give. Lots of political commentary you could give, just basic, you know, even, you know, this film very much does a both sidesism, which annoys me very much in a lot of movies, but you know what, I let it slide, especially for these big 4-quadrant blockbusters. And this movie does that, but it's like, why are you you're both sidesing nothing. There's nothing here to chew on. Nothing. And boy, oh boy, you know, I'm just going to say it. It's almost as if you should not make a sequel to The Incredible Hulk without the Hulk. Makes no sense to me. So anyway, guys, absolutely horrendous movie. Speaking of which, I actually felt like, you know, as much of a mixed bag as the show was, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I feel looked more like a film than this does. And that's the Disney Plus show. Okay? So, I don't know what's going on here. They messed this one up big time. Anthony Mackie deserves better. Hopefully he gets to lead a good team of Avengers in like Doomsday and that other one that they're making, Secret Wars. But this one about did me in. This is the MCU's rock bottom. This is by far their worst film. I actually think I had a better time watching stuff like Madam Web, because at least like there's like some fun to be had with it and how goofy it is and stuff. And I think Dakota Johnson in that film is like really giving it her all despite the material. But yeah, man, this is horrible. 1 star out of 5, and that's being generous. If I could give 0 stars, I would. I should probably give it half a star. I've been sitting here talking. I've worked myself up. I almost feel like I should give it half a star, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give it 1 star because Anthony Mackie's a good Captain America, and I would like to see him continue as the character. And that's all I got. If you saw Captain America 4, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'll be sure to leave some more videos for y'all to watch at the end screen. And I hope y'all have a good day, afternoon, or night whenever you are watching this. Peace.